Want to get your business in front of real sports fans? The Fade Route with DNZ reaches over 1,000 listeners every month. We drop fresh episodes every week and stay active on social media so your brand doesn't just get heard, it stays top of mind. Local, loyal, passionate. That's our audience. Are you ready to be part of the in crowd? Let's talk about how we increase your foot traffic and get people to visit your website. Email us today at faderoutemail@gmail.com or message us on our socials at FadeRoutePodcast on IG or slide in our DMs on X at FadeRouteDNZ so we can find the best package for you. Coming at you from the AO Studios, it's the Fade Route with DNZ. Here are your hosts, D and Z.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Coming at you live from the AO studio.
Ayo.
It's the Fade Route with D and Z. I am D, and we've got a great show for you tonight. Detroit's former coordinators are struggling. Rookie running backs are also struggling. And this Kawhi Leonard story is not going away. But we'll begin today's show with, hey man, we're 2 weeks into the season and the Bengals season's probably over. He's a little bit more optimistic than I am, but Joe Burrow will miss the next 3 months after foot injury this past Sunday against the Jaguars. The Bengals are now turning to Jake Browning, who was able to salvage the W, and the Bengals have brought in Mike White and a few other clowns to back him up. This is the third time Joe Burrow has missed significant time with an injury. Is Joe Burrow injury prone?
I think we need to start renaming, or a petition to rename the Chad Pennington Comeback Player of the Year award to Joe Burrow.
Could you win it 3 times? Is that really possible?
Not once, not twice, but thrice. That is what Joe Burrow, before the age of 30, he's 28. Let's be real here. Before the age of 30, he might be winning the Comeback Player of the Year.
Hey man,
right.
The ACL injury was pretty serious, and that was pretty bad, and that happened to Brady. You know, it happens, you know. The wrist injury was really flukish. If you watched it in real time, it didn't even look like anybody hit him. He just threw it, and he just couldn't lift his arm. Now, this tackle, I mean, the guy got him by the ankle and eventually got him by the shoe. He goes down, and he don't get up.
No.
And from what I understand, his toe is crooked, and they need to fix it.
Yeah. So you're pretty much, you're going to need to get that taken care of. Now, as far as, is he an injury-prone quarterback? Yeah, it's hard to say no, because he has been injured 3 times before the age of 30. Now, is he getting help from his offensive line? That's a no. That's an absolute no. Where he is under siege constantly, right? If you've seen the Netflix season of Quarterback with him on there, he takes a beating. He absolutely takes a beating. And it's because he wants to stay in the pocket as long as possible. He wants to extend plays. Eventually, he will run if need be, but it's really not something that he's want to do. He's a downfield passer. That's his bread and butter, right? He's got Higgins, he's got Chase. That's what he's trying to do. What does this mean for the Bengals? Now, the Steelers are not all that great. We're going to talk about, this in more detail. The Browns are the Browns. The Ravens aren't all that good either. Like we saw them, get 40 dropped on them by the Bills. Yes, they had a better performance against the Browns, but again, it's like, see my earlier comment on the Browns. So, this division is attainable. A wild card spot is attainable. What Jake Browning needs to do is not fuck it up. Right? Like, your job as the backup, who is now forced into a starting role, is to not shit the bed and not put your team further behind the 8 ball. He came in, he salvaged the game, but he did throw 3 picks in the process. So that's not. He threw 2 touchdowns. He threw for 241 yards. All fantastic things.
Ooh, Browning threw 3 picks?
Yeah, 3 picks.
Oh, wow. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so...
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So that's something to consider. Yeah, it doesn't... If you're a Bengals fan, you can't be that hopeful. But you'd have to have a little bit... Just a little glimmer. A little gleam, right? If you were able to still carry on, right? You were still able to move the ball. Like there were signs there. There's positives there. Is it all sunshine and rainbows? Absolutely not, because he still has to play behind this offensive line. So who's to say he's not joining Joe Burrow in the hospital at some point, right? You just brought in Mike White. I mean, I believe they contacted the Falcons about Kirk Cousins. They contacted the Giants about Jameis Winston. Like, they're still evaluating their quarterback position because you can't really be super satisfied with what you have. Right? You have a journeyman at this point in Mike White. You have potential. You have a project in Jake Browning. People love Jake Browning. Everything you hear about Jake Browning is that people love his arm strength. People love his command of a huddle. He needs reps. And the only way you're going to get reps, unfortunately, in his case, is when Joe Burrow goes out. So we're going to see where it goes. Another performance like that is probably going to extend his life a little bit. But if he comes cratering down to earth, I'll be hard pressed for them not to call about Cousins again or call about Winston again.
Yeah, I don't know where this goes. I think they're gonna have to get somebody else. I don't think Browning is the future. I don't think he can lead this team out of a closet. I've seen enough of Jake Browning to know what Jake Browning is. I do think that they have enough talent at wide receiver and at running back where they can get to be a playoff team, and then Joe Burrow could come back. I mean, I think if he hurts his foot, I still think he can come back and he can play. It's not like he hurt his shoulder or his leg or his wrist. It's a foot. I think he'll come in and he'll be Joe Burrow again. So, and you could come in as a low seed potentially and upset somebody. So I do think it's worthwhile to call the Giants about Jameis Winston. I think it's worthwhile to call the Falcons about Kirk Cousins. I think it's worthwhile to call the Rams about Jimmy Garoppolo, even though Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt. But you've got a good team. You don't want to lose another season because he's going to miss time. Okay? You want to be able to be contenders. And like you said, the division's not all that great. I mean, even last year they hung numbers on the Ravens every time they played. They put up big numbers, So I'm sure that, there is a way to stay in the mix, and, the Browns aren't going to beat you. And I don't think the Steelers are all that great. And even if you split with those guys and then you beat every other team, you're in it. And so I don't think they should just give it up. I think they should try to get a formidable backup, and they should try to stay in contention and not lose this season. Absolutely.
I mean, it is only week 3, so you still have time to right the ship. You still have a loaded offensive cupboard. Yes, you're down Burrow, but you still have Chase. You still have Higgins. You still have Josivas, who's good. You still have Chase Brown, who is good. You still have Gesicki. You still have a lot of offensive weapons to make this go.
And fans, they have fans.
They have no fans. That's right. They have no fans. That's right. So, when a backup has to step into the situation, like, your job is to not fuck this up. Like, you need to be in a game manager mode. Like, you can't.
They have talent. They have talent. You could throw it up to T. Higgins and you could throw it up to Jamar Chase. They're gonna be able to get the ball to you. I mean, they're gonna be able to catch the ball. They're gonna save you. So let them save you.
I'll throw it. Make sure you catch it. Well, if he ever gets to me.
Yeah.
Wise words once said.
So 2 weeks into the season, and several good teams are 0-2, and some surprising teams are 2-0. So give me your best 0-2 team and your worst 2-0 team.
That's interesting, right? That's a really interesting kind of scenario. As far as who our 0-2 teams are, right? Let's go through it. The Panthers, the Saints. No. Okay, just no. The Bears show flashes, right? The Giants. It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag right now. The Jets are awful. Lupus is awful. The Dolphins, McDaniel's going to get fired. It's a matter of when, not if. Rumors are already swirling that he may not survive Thursday. Right? He may not survive the Thursday game against Buffalo, depending on the result. The Browns are 0-2. The Texans are 0-2. The Titans are 0-2. And the Chiefs are 0-2. You gotta say the Chiefs, man. Just based on pedigree, based on who they have, and based on the caliber of opponent that they played, right? They played the reigning defending champions, and they played an in-division rival who plays them tough and has a very stout defense, right? I gotta say the Chiefs are up there in terms of one of the better 0-2 teams, probably definitely the best, right? The Texans are anemic. The Browns are just a clown show on offense, even though they have a good defense. The Giants have a good defense, but that fourth quarter, go home, you're drunk. Like, you had a game. You had a winnable game. Shane Bowen played soft. He played scared. And ultimately, it cost them. It bit them in the ass. Russ finally looked good outside of that soul-crushing pick at the end of the game and another turnover. He was moving the ball. He had commanded the offense. It was humming. It was absolutely humming. So the Chiefs, however, I think are the best of the bunch in terms of the 0-2s. Now, as far as the 2-0s, you're looking at the Niners, the Cardinals. You're looking at the Bucks, the Packers, the Eagles. Packers and Eagles are off this list already. Right? They're not the worst. The Bills, they're not the worst 2-0. Right? The Colts, not the worst 2-0. Although they probably shouldn't be 2-0, but you have that leverage penalty. It's a penalty. It happens. The Chargers are certainly not the worst 2-0. Who does that leave? It goes right back to the Cincinnati Bengals, baby. The Cincinnati Bengals, now especially that they have Jake Browning and not Joe Burrow, right? You have a different JB. That, as talented as they are, I think that leaves you in a rather precarious spot. So I am narrowly going to take the Bengals as the worst 2-0 over a team like the Niners, whose window is closed, and they're just trying to manage until their next injury window hits. So, begrudgingly, I'm going to have to go with the Bengals on that.
Yeah, so for me, I think the worst 2-0 team is the 49ers. I've seen them play, and they leave a lot to be desired. But the Bengals, I can at least say they have stud wide receivers, and they have a really good running back. So they're very good, I would say, on one side of the ball. Defensively, they're shit. Right. The 49ers look bad on both sides of the ball. I think we're really going to see this weekend when they face the Cardinals how bad they really are. And then as far as as far as 0-2 teams are concerned, I'm going to go with you with the Chiefs. I mean, we saw Patrick Mahomes pretty much get this same team to the Super Bowl last year. Yeah. And they're minus Xavier Worthy, right, who might be playing this weekend. They're minus Rashee Rice, who's going to be coming back soon. So I really, truly think that they're going to get back into the mix. I don't think they're as good as they were last year, but they're certainly the best 0-2 team that's around. But can we talk about some of the other 0-2 teams that are fucking bad?
Let's do it.
I mean, like the Dolphins.
Ugh.
Jeez. Jeez, man. They put up a fight. I will say they put up a fight, but even their coach is just saying stupid shit at the end of press conferences. Like, hey, we lost the game because we lost the game. We didn't do enough to win the game. No shit, asshole.
You want to win games, got to win games.
You got to win games. Some kind of play on words. I don't know. How about the Texans? The Texans are dog shit, man. I watched their game. I watched their last game on Monday night. And dear Lord, he's got the Zach Wilson shits running the wrong direction. You're going the wrong way. Forward. Throw the ball downfield. Throw it away. Get out of the way. Like, there's no chemistry on their offense. I don't know what they're doing offensively. I don't know, like, what's going on. And then it
goes to show you how important Joe Mixon was to that team. Like, you figure, okay, you got Chubb, you have Pierce. Pierce didn't even play. Like, what?
Yeah.
Dameon Pierce was a starter in this league.
What's that about? How is he not playing? You're going with fucking Nick Chubb? Really? Nick Chubb scored a touchdown, thank God. But Nico Collins, like, they're targeting him. He's just not catching the damn ball. Like, really, man? Like, really? Like, what is up with that? I just, listen, it's early, right? Mm-hmm. We can treat the first 2 games as like a preseason, right? We're going to say, okay, these are the preseason. I expect better football to be played this Sunday.
You hope so.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, it's just, so, and then moving on.
I mean, that's the effect of the camps. Like, now you're mentioning it. Like, I mean, the first 4 games often look extremely sloppy. Everybody looks totally gassed. I mean, that's the effect of not having 2-a-days, not having padded practices in training camp, but just, instead of like having some high intensity stuff, you're scheduling joint practices instead. It's to be expected. Eliminating most of the preseason, it's just designed to be that way. And you're paying, right? As a consumer, you're paying top dollar for essentially preseason football because they know they got you by the short and curly. So that's something to be said. But the cream rises to the top. Eventually, everything shakes out. You expect better. We're almost a quarter of the way through the season.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, Detroit straight up thumped Chicago on Sunday, putting up 52 on Ben Johnson and the Bears. Dan Campbell's other former coordinator, Aaron Glenn, was blowed out by Buffalo 30-10. Justin Fields got knocked out of the game with a concussion. Tyrod Taylor is now the starting quarterback, and we all know Tyrod Taylor's injury history. So both coordinators are currently 0-2, but which one is in a better situation?
Man, this is a tough question. Because, I mean, if you watch Chicago play, right, it just looks like Caleb Williams needs to sit down. Like, it's not clicking. He's missing wide open guys. He's falling on the floor and throwing the ball just to get rid of it. Like, it's just sloppy. It just looks sloppy. And the part I'm having a tough time with is Ben Johnson seems to be thinking like, okay, I'm going to run the same offense I ran with the Lions with the Bears. And I'm going to use those players. And you can't do that. You've got to use the players you have. You have to be able to play to their strengths. What are they good at? I know you're down on DeAndre Swift, but let's give him the ball. We got to run it. We're in Chicago. Let's power run this fucking bitch. And then when they start disrespecting the run game or respecting the run game, then we'll play action pass to Rome Odunze. We'll throw out passes to DJ Moore. We'll throw it over the middle to Loveland. Like, this is basic stuff. You're doing these deep crossing routes and these deep passes for Caleb Williams. He can't read the defense. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. And then he's trying to scramble because in college he used to scramble and throw on the run. He's scrambling and throwing it on the run. He's throwing it out of bounds or throwing it into the ground or throwing it just a bit outside. Like, you've got to coach to this kid's strength. Build him up. Get him to feel better about himself. Get him to feel confident. This is his second coordinator. This is the second time he's going through a new offense. Let's get him comfortable with stuff. He's not Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a pocket passer who can throw the ball. He can throw the ball. I don't think Caleb Williams can throw the ball as good as Jared Goff can throw the ball. Now on the other side, to COVID or to lupus, my dear Lord, you guys spent all training camp and last week to get ready for the Buffalo Bills, and that's how you played? Like that? They were supposed to build off the game against the Steelers, where I thought they actually played halfway decent. Aaron Rodgers threw for 4 touchdown passes, but they also put up a decent amount of points.
Yeah.
We thought you were going to build on that. And no. We found out who you really are because the game was over at halftime. The game was fucking over at halftime. My God. Justin Fields is bad. He's bad. He also has a concussion now.
Yeah.
He will not play this weekend. And Tyrod Taylor's their quarterback. You and I looked it up before. We don't even know who the third quarterback is who's going to back him up this weekend. Garrett Wilson has to be kicking himself. Like, what were you thinking coming back here? So, and then defensively, Aaron Glenn, you're the defensive fucking guy. Like, you're the head coach of this team. You came over to Detroit where you were the defensive coordinator. They're hanging 40 on you every week. Where's the defense? What's the scheme? You cut a guy last week because he dropped a fumble. I saw guys not even chasing James Cook down the sideline. Are you going to fire them too? Like, what? Are you going to cut them too, dude? Like, what are... Like, so who's in a better situation? I'm going to say that Chicago, Ben Johnson's in a better situation. He just has to learn to coach the players he has. He got talent there. He has talent there. But if you're going to try to keep running this Detroit-style offense with Swift and dropping Caleb Williams back into a deep drop, 7 drop, having these guys run these deep crossing patterns, that shit ain't going to work. The Jets, I don't know who they're going to beat. Maybe they'll beat Miami. Maybe. I don't know.
I was going to say, right? Like, at least the Bears play a modicum of defense. Not when they put up 50, not when the other team puts up 52 in week 2, right? From week to week, that ship has sailed. And, I mean, seeing how anemic Minnesota looked, that really is an indictment all the way around, right? Because Minnesota came back on your ass and they beat you week 1. And then you got your lunch taken by Detroit in week 2. And this is supposed to be, the monsters of the Midway, the 85 Bears. Like, this is what you hang your hat on. The Chicago Bears is not an offensive organization. They haven't had a quarterback since Sid Luckman. They had Jim McMahon briefly. They had Jay Cutler. Like, there you go. Rex Grossman took this team to a Super Bowl. So, this is not known for their offensive prowess. To your point about Ben Johnson coaching who he has, you know who he is? He's Chip Kelly. He's the latest hot shit coordinator who smells his own farts and loves the smell. He's the guy who thinks that he can make his system work with anybody because it's his system, right? It's not because of the players that execute his system. It's his system that makes everybody fantastic. When you don't have a quarterback like Jared Goff, who is a very accurate quarterback, it fucks up the whole thing. When you don't have a receiver like Amon-Ra St. Brown, it kind of fucks up the whole thing. When you don't have Sonic and Knuckles in the backfield, it kind of fucks up the whole thing. So, he'll learn. He has no choice but to learn. Because what's going to happen? He'll end up being like Eric Mangini. He'll end up being the wonder kid who runs himself out of town, right? He'll be Josh McDaniels. And you don't want to ever go full McDaniels. Like that's never a good thing. You never want to go full McDaniels. But oh my god. The Jets, they've given up 64 points. This team had a good defense before Aaron Glenn got here. They had a good defense. And it kind of goes to show you, because it's, if you look at Atlanta, they're playing a very stout defense this year. Do you know who their defensive coordinator is?
In where?
In Atlanta.
No, I don't think so.
Interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich.
Oh,
he is, so, there it is. That's all you need to know. So maybe it wasn't Brick. Maybe he just wasn't cut out to be a head coach. So there's something to be said there. Aaron Glenn's defense in Detroit wasn't that hot to begin with. And then they further got exposed once they got injured, right? Aiden Hutchinson is great. He provides the pressure. Wonderful. Next level, Anzalone, very good. That secondary was suspect. And then as guys started to go down, it got even more suspect. So it's hard to say who's in a better situation, because one defense JC gave a 52 and the other one's given up 64 in 2 games. So as of right now, I'm going to say that the Bears and Ben Johnson are in a better position just because he still has his quarterback, right? He still has Caleb Williams. Now, the jury's out on Caleb Williams. Neither you or I have been high on Caleb Williams. Full disclosure, right? He's just okay. Truth be told, we need to see more. But he's still there. Justin Fields has a concussion. We know what Tyrod Taylor is. We don't know who's backing up Tyrod Taylor. And you just got spanked. Absolutely spanked after showing what little hope you had. No, you can't in good conscience take lupus here. You gotta begrudgingly go with the Bears.
Yes. Now, 2 weeks into the season, and rookie running backs Omarion Hampton and Ashton Genty of the Chargers and Raiders respectively are struggling with under 4 yards per carry and only 1 touchdown between the two of them. Is it fair to give up on them this early in the season? What have you given up on after watching 2 weeks of football?
As a Giant fan, you kind of give up on life a little bit. Yeah, no, that's not true. I will temper my dismay, and we'll get to the Giants in a second. But if you only rush a guy 8 times, like Omarion Hampton, how can you really evaluate if he's good or not? Right? If you're going to only rush Ashton Genty, who you invested a top 5 pick in, top 6 pick, how are you going to evaluate him if he's only rushing the ball 11 times? Now, I understand that the Raiders had to chase the game a little bit, right? Especially since the first pass that Geno threw, doink pick. So you're already behind the 8 ball a little bit. You can't give up on these guys. It's way too soon to say that this guy's a bust, especially when you're not giving him enough of a workload. Who can you give up on? That's an interesting question. That's a very loaded and interesting question. I can give up on the Dolphins. That's for shit sure. I can absolutely give up on the Dolphins. I can give up on the Jets. I can give up on the Browns offense. The defense will keep them in the game, but I can say with certainty that the Browns offense is shit. I can say that it's going to be a long year for the Giants. They're going to show flashes, and they're going to tease you as a Giant fan, right? They put up 37. You think, holy shit, we're going to win. This is amazing. This is wonderful. Russ throws that touchdown, and it's like, all right, here we fucking go. And then, bink, 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 soft. Brandon Aubrey can kick it from the moon. Right? He's got that kind of leg on him. So, the Giants will tease you and then pull the rug out from under you. And that's the worst kind of team. Because they'll give you fucking hope. Like, forget the Washington game. They got their asses blown off. But that's more of a credit to Washington, right? That defensive line is a good defensive line. Like, we learned some things about the commies week 1. The Giants, when humming, they're going to be one of those teams that's just good enough to get you beat. Their performance is just going to be good enough for you to buy in. You start to feel good about yourself. You start to feel good about things, and then they'll kick you right in the dick. Like that's, because that's how I felt twice. From the first Aubrey field goal to get into overtime, to the soul-crushing pick, to the second Aubrey field goal. So I've given up on the high hopes as a Giant fan. I've given up on... It's hard to say I've given up on teams like the Saints when I didn't believe in them to begin with. Right? It's hard to say I've given up on the Browns. I didn't really believe in the Browns to begin with. But some of these teams, like, if this was Madden, you'd already be like simulating to next season. So it was so for me, I'm giving up on these rookie running backs. I watched Genti play on Monday, and he's terrible in pass protection. At points, it didn't look like he knew where to go. Like, there was one play where Geno turned around and handed him the ball, and he went the wrong way. Then in pass protection, he hits this guy. He hits a guy, and then that's it. It's like, no, you got to stay with that block, dude. He's also very undersized for a running back. I saw him truck somebody, which was nice. But, I mean, he's getting 2.7 yards per attempt. Yeah. He only has 1 touchdown. On the other side, Amarion Hampton, dude, he's a big dude. The Chargers wasted a first-round pick on you. 22nd overall. And he just, I don't know. He seems like an elephant out there. Like, he doesn't know where to go. Now, granted, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they played the Raiders and they played the Chiefs, who have 2 really good run defenses. And we're gonna see what happens this weekend in Denver. But I don't have very high hopes for it. And the other thing is they're just throwing the ball. The Chargers are throwing the ball all over the yard. They're not even running the ball. They gave him 3 tries in the goal line, and he went backward. Dude, LaDainian Tomlinson wasn't going backward. Nope. You know what I'm saying? Arian Foster wasn't going backward. Dude, you're a big dude. Go fall. Just fall. Just fall forward. If you fell forward 3 times, you would have got it. Another thing I'm giving up on the Chiefs. I'm not giving up on the Chiefs as far as their ability to win games and their possibility of being in the Super Bowl or possibility of being in the AFC Championship. I can't watch them play, Z. They're averaging 20 points a game, and it's ugly. It's ugly. It looks awful. If Travis Kelce is not open, there's no other place where he feels comfortable throwing the ball. No. And he does his little dance, and he runs around, and then he runs out of bounds, or then he throws his shoulder into people like he's some tough guy going out of bounds. Dude, you're running out of bounds. They're not trying to hurt you. Why are you trying to hurt them? I can't watch them play. If you remember, his first year was 2018.
an open air raid, air assault, dropping bombs on people. There's nothing exciting about this offense. They nickel and they run 11 plays to get into the red zone, and then they throw a fucking interception. Completely deflating. Another team I don't want to see anymore is the Eagles. This is not football. This is rugby. This is awful. Jalen Hurts doesn't take any chances. Super conservative with the ball. Then when he runs out of bounds. Then anything 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1, it's a rugby game. It's a tush push, which is fine. It's in the rules. I'm not mad at it. You win any way you want to win. Doesn't mean I got to watch it. Doesn't mean I got to like it. I don't want to see the Chiefs and the Eagles fucking play each other anymore. I got to see them play 5 times the last couple of years, and I'm done. The most exciting play of the game was fucking Jalen Hurts throwing a bomb, which was really just 30 yards, to Devonta Smith, who jumped up, caught it, and then got knocked down. It was like both those teams were so afraid to make a mistake that they were just being conservative as fuck. Yeah. I don't need that in my life.
What I don't need, to piggyback off of the Eagles, is if you're going to have the tush push, and it's a legal play, it's an absolute legal play. People are calling to, they're calling the Eagles to task on the fact that the center is over the ball and how it's a camera illusion. Eagles fans are defending, and even Jason Kelce is saying that it's an illusion of the camera and that the center isn't really over the ball. And that might be the case, but the two motherfuckers who are moving before the ball is snapped is not an optical illusion. The two interior linemen to the left and the right of the center who are moving before the ball is snapped no. And I don't need to hear Jeff Saturday saying that they're going on the second of the hut. Like, no. A false start is a he coughed. Like, that's a cough. I'm sorry.
Well, then on another play, the defensive lineman like punched the ball before it was snapped. Like, it's just messy. I really don't care they do it. That doesn't mean I gotta watch it and like it. Like, am I looking forward to watching the Rams play the Eagles this weekend? No, I don't want to see the Eagles play at all. I was looking at the numbers. From the game last year when they played them in the divisional round. Jalen Hurts was 15 for 20 for $150. He rushed the ball 10 times for 70 yards and a touchdown. That was his day.
So what do you do? Play zone, play a spy? Like, what do you do?
AJ Brown had 2 receptions for 17 yards. Devonta Smith had 4 receptions. Saquon Barkley ran all over the place. Yeah. What do you do? Like, what do you do if you're like playing?
If you're the Rams, if you're the
the Rams, I'm playing the same game I played last time. We gonna beat your ass this time because we know we're better than you now. We weren't sure when we came in last time, but now we know we're better than you. What's gonna happen on Sunday, Z, is that the Rams are gonna put up points, and the Eagles are gonna be forced to put up points. So we're gonna find out. Because I don't think their defense is as good as it was last year. Even with Jalen Carter, they're not as good as they were. And the Rams are humming, okay? I saw incredible passes from Matthew Stafford to Devonta Adams. Wow. Like, I couldn't believe it was completed. Ncaa has taken a fourth and short, 45 yards to the house. Like, I'm all in on the Rams, man. I'm all in on the Rams. You already know.
And my man Puka the week before had a friggin' bloody eye. Like, that's all you need to know. Like, tough as shit, man. Tough as fucking nails. What about a guy like Travis Hunter? Are you giving up on the Iron Man at this point? Because he got burned. They targeted him, and they moved the ball on Travis Hunter on defense on Sunday.
Well, okay, so there's 2 ways I look at this. The one way I look at it is okay, it's week 2, second week of the preseason, right? We're going to finally start playing NFL games this weekend. Mm-hmm. The other way I look at it is they wasted a draft pick. Because here's the deal. He's okay on offense and he's okay on defense. That's what he is at this point. You didn't draft him in the first round and trade up to get him for him to be okay on offense and okay on defense. This guy was supposed to be like the next Deion Sanders.
Right.
So, and then from what I didn't watch the Jaguar game, from what I heard, he was predominantly on defense this past week, and he was just okay at it. So what's the plan? Because that doesn't, unless there's something in the grand scheme of things for him, this seems like a real failure. And yeah, I'm giving up on him because by now we know what you are. Like, you are what you are at this point. We know. I mean, we've seen 2 games. You're not gonna come out of nowhere and surprise somebody, or with this blazing speed or whatever it is.
I mean, it's a gimmick. It was a gimmick in college. It's a gimmick in the pros. Like, as far as I can tell, like, I didn't see anything that was super standout. Like, it was admirable that he was doing it. Kind of like Shador. Like, it was what it was. Like, a media inflation of what they were doing. And when they played better competition, that's when shit went south. But I'm not seeing a lot of. I mean, Cam Ward has not won a game yet, and he's looked pedestrian. You have Shador dropped all the way to the 140s. But it's too early to say this draft class is a bust. But you definitely need to pump the brakes on some of it. So I think that's also a little bit of the media. Like hyping everybody coming out of college and how it's like they're going to be immediate impact players. No, that's not the case always. Like sometimes you need to wait. Sometimes you need to be coached. Sometimes you fall flat on your fucking face and you have to go to 2 or 3 different teams. See Geno Smith and see Daniel Jones. I will give Daniel Jones credit for improvement. Baker Mayfield. Look at Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is like all world right now.
Yeah. His career trajectory.
He got cut by the Panthers, by the way. Cut by the Panthers, then was the backup to Matthew Stafford in LA. And somehow made his way over to the Bucs, where now he's probably a top 5 quarterback in the league.
This man was the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns when they had a lead on the Kansas City Chiefs in a playoff game.
That's right.
And then the next year, he was looking for work.
Yeah.
So, there's organizational failures. There's also personal failures. So, Cleveland did not do Baker. Cleveland did not do him any favors. But it's a little too early to fully pull the cord. But you have to definitely temper your expectations.
Avoid messy accidents. Get better stopping power with your brake pads. Callahan brake pads. You never know when you'll be driving in the road and there will be a truck tire that you need to avoid and save your family. Callahan Auto. We really care about what's under your hood.
And speaking of tempering expectations, the Mets.
Yeah. The Mets.
They are currently losing to the Padres 6-4 in the top of the 8th inning, and Helsley appears to have just gotten out of it. Oh my God. It's like an albino tiger in the wild.
In the 8th inning, by the way.
In the 8th inning, no less. So the Padres lost yesterday to the Mets. The Mets currently hold the 3rd wild card spot behind the Padres. However, they're being chased down by the Diamondbacks, and they're going into a stretch where they play the Nationals, they play the Marlins, they play teams that they generally don't do well against. So, the bad teams. They don't do well against the bad teams. So, how do you see this playing out for the Mets?
I don't see it playing out very good, just because their starting rotation has a +5 ERA this month. They, I believe, are 16 and 29 in their last 45 games. They're just not playing well. They're just not executing. And you're supposed to be getting hot right now. They seem to be extremely cold. I don't trust anybody in their bullpen. Your boy Helsley.
And my boy.
The music comes on and it just means hit parade. Hit parade. Yeah, I don't trust anything going on. They're just sinking fast. I mean, I think they'll still make the playoffs, but I don't see this team going anywhere.
So the two saving graces right now is that the Giants appear to be fading back to the pack, right? Along along with the Reds. The Diamondbacks have bubbled up, but I believe they have a series against the Giants. They're going to beat each other up to get there. Now, this game is not over tonight. It's the bottom of the 8th inning, 6-4. From where they were after the Tatis Grand Slam, after the Machado Grand Slam, like it looked dire. So there's still an opportunity. Washington and Miami are 6 games that should be winnable, but the Mets play down to their competition, and that's a problem. Mental mistakes, right? A lack of pitching when you need pitching, a lack of hitting when you need hitting, and they're both out of whack to where it's, it's noticeably inconsistent. When one is happening, the other is not. It's a tough road, man. It's absolutely a tough road. Because, the Padres still have something to play for. They're only 2 games behind the Dodgers. So, they're by no means thinking, hey, we're secure in our spot and we're just going to get ourselves ready. No. They play the Mets tough always, and they're coming for your throat. The Padres, you said it. I agree. They're going to be a tough out. Absolutely going to be a tough out in the playoffs this year. They have 3 against the Mets have 3 against the Cubs next week. The Cubs pretty much have the number 1 wild card sewn up. So what does that mean for them? What are they going to do? So it's possible. It's absolutely possible that those are games that the Mets can win. I don't believe that they're going to do well against the Nats and the Marlins. Now, the rotation, what the kids are doing is admirable. What McClain is doing, what Sproat is doing, Tong hasn't been as good. He got lit up by the Rangers. They're here because the veterans couldn't do their job. Now you have a tag team of Holmes and Minaya. Let's see how long that lasts. It was fine for last night. Let's see if they can do it again. Peterson was not great tonight. He's hitting his innings limit. He's hitting his wall. A lot of pitchers on this team are hitting their wall, including the ballyhooed kids. If they make the playoffs, it feels like a one and done. It really does. If they go in as the third wild card, it feels like a one and done. And you need to really sit back and you really need to evaluate where this season went wrong. Every single maneuver, every single signing, possibly with the exception of Clay Holmes, has bitten them in the ass. Winker barely played. Minaya hasn't been good all year. Montas, atrocious. And then the trade deadline. Helsley's been terrible. Mullins has been awful. He's been streaky. You'll get flashes, but then you'll get garbage. The kids, the reliance on Beatty, Mauricio, Acuna, Vientos, Alvarez. Vientos has picked it up as of late, but Beatty has been okay. He's been merely okay. Acuna is a pinch runner. Vientos, he's been better. And Alvarez has been star-crossed all year. He got hit in the hand again yesterday. How many fucking times are you going to get hit in the hand? So, I'm optimistic as a Met fan. You have to be optimistic. They are in position. But history shows, right? And if you're a Met fan of any sort of historical perspective, you've seen this before. You can't feel too comfortable, right? We've seen 7 with 17 to go. And the up and down definitely leaves you unsettled.
For all you grill masters, green thumbers, DIY aficionados, and home repair heroes in the Richmond, Virginia area, if you're looking for personal service quality products and a convenient shopping experience, then look no farther than Thacker Ace Hardware in Colonial Heights. Owner Don Rackley and his team of local experts have everything you need to tackle every project around the house. I'm talking Benjamin Moore paint, Milwaukee and Craftsman power tools, plumbing, electric, hardware, the works. For you green thumbers, their nursery department is top notch, and I wouldn't be me if I didn't mention the grills. They have Weber, Blackstone, Big Green Egg, Traeger. I want one of everything. Give them a call today at 804-766-4223 and see how they can assist you. Or swing by 27 Dunlop Village in Colonial Heights. That's Thacker Ace Hardware, 804-766-4223, or swing by 27 Dunlop Village in Colonial Heights. Thacker Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Well, something else that's a little unsettling is this Kawhi Leonard story will not go away. Investigative reporter Pablo Torre found Kawhi Leonard was paid for a job he never did and never showed up for. What actions does Adam Silver need to take before the start of the NBA season? No show, no pay job. Wow.
There was also part ownership was negotiated. He negotiated that the Clippers go and get Paul George. So there's a lot of terms being dictated by a guy that was not under contract. So there have been 2 tampering investigations regarding the Kawhi Leonard contract. And from what we've seen here, there's a lot of shady shit going on. There's a lot of shady stuff going on. And Steve Ballmer was supposed to be the guy who's supposed to be the breath of fresh air, and he was supposed to be the anti-Donald Sterling. Which is probably the case, because you know what? Steve Ballmer isn't racist. So there's that. Good job, Steve. Maybe not so scrupulous, but you're not racist. Good for you. Good for you. What should Adam Silver do? The league has to investigate. The league absolutely has to investigate unless they already knew about it and they just let it happen. So, these contracts, you figure go to the league so that you figure they're looking into these things. And if they knew about it, that's a huge red flag. And if they didn't know about it, they better investigate this shit. And you probably, it's not like Kawhi Leonard plays a lot anyway. It was like, you probably gotta suspend him pending an investigation. I think you probably have to go that route. And then if they found that all of this happened, shit, I don't even know, man. Like how much money is Kawhi Leonard paying back? Do you void his contract? What is your legal recourse? I don't know. We might have to ask John Barrera about this. But I figure if you're Adam Silver, if you have any kind of stones and you're not a muppet for the players, you're investigating this thing, and you got to be ready, hammer in hand, to lay down the law here.
Yeah, the problem I'm having is how sloppy this was all carried out.
Yeah.
You're talking about Steve Ballmer, who's a multi-billionaire, who's been so meticulous in the creation of his arena there, and such a down to the numbers and down to the penny guy, would be so sloppy with this whole transaction, almost like he didn't care, right? Which leads me to believe that he's not the only owner that does this stuff, right? And it makes you question, okay, Jalen Brunson coming to New York Knicks? It makes you question, CP3 going to the Suns, going to the Rockets. Like, it makes you question every single move where a guy can only get paid X amount of money. But hold on, we've got other ways to get you money. Oh, we've got other ways, to get you investments or to make it worth your while. And
to be
if
fair,
it comes out, go ahead.
To be fair, this was before the Ohtani deferred money situation. So, like, this is, that's, while that's new-ish in Major League Baseball, like, this predates that. It's just like, everything is supposed to be out of the cards, supposed to be all out on the table. Everybody's supposed to know about everything. And this is shady. And it's just showing you that there's a shady side to the NBA. There might be a shady side to all sports when it comes to contracts. But you're going outside of what you're able to do, able to provide. And if you're doing it, odds are there are other teams that are doing the same thing. Absolutely. So it's one of those things that if they knew about it, which if other teams are doing it, then you're pretty sure it's one of those, league-wide open secrets. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a major black eye on the league. And like, where do you go from here? And how do you navigate the integrity of this to where, like, you're not trying to circumvent the cap? You're not trying, like, how are you dealing fairly and how are you on the up and up here? And yeah, if it's a league-wide open secret, then it's got to be audited. The league needs to be audited, and you kind of need to revamp how you do business. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? Right? Just let it all happen. Just like pull all the guardrails out. Kawhi, you don't need a no-show job because we just took the salary cap away. Let's fucking go. Like, what are we doing here? We're just trying to, live by the old adage. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. And if we can be so bold here, let's look at Mr. Ballmer's return on investment. 3 playoff series wins? If that? Not even a finals appearance? No chips.
Oldest team in the NBA.
Oldest team in the NBA? It's not much, like, as the guy who came running on the stage like a clown, talking about how he was, basically, it was the owner's version of not 3, not 4, not 5. It didn't work out in Miami either. Right? They didn't get 3, they didn't get 4, they didn't get 5. You wouldn't even get to 1, much less win 1. All these Larrys that you were talking about, like, we're gonna get all these Larrys. Who? Where? Well, Larry. Yeah, still waiting. So, I don't know. I just don't know. And it doesn't look good. In the court of public opinion, it does not look good at all. So, be prepared for some bloodletting from the Clippers.
When owning a home, it's important to have heating and cooling professional available when things go wrong. Air Care Technicians is a veteran-owned HVAC company servicing the Westchester area. They are licensed to service, repair, maintenance, and replace all HVAC units. If your unit is not running properly or you would like to improve the air quality in your home, contact Air Care Technicians for a free quote. They offer same-day and emergency services for all of your needs. You can reach them at 914-315-1547. Air Care Technicians, 914-315-1547.
It's the In Route, where friends of the show get a special segment with us. Want to be part of the action? Want to be the newest member of the in crowd? Well, you know what to do. Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com, or slide in our DMs on IG at faderoutepodcast, or drop us a line on X at faderoutednz, and you could be next.
Joining us on the in route today, we've got New York City point guard legend, USA boxing coach, and owner of Watch Me Work Fitness Training, Leon Martinez. Welcome to the show.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Leon?
Good to see you, man. So we'll start you off with this. We know you're a Patriots fan. They're 1-1 so far this season. How do you like the development of Drake May, and is he the quarterback of the future?
Still wishy-washy with Drake. Yeah, I mean, shows signs, but I don't know. I feel like he's not establishing stuff on Diggs too much. It's gonna be a slow year for us. I mean, I feel like Buffalo's are really our only threat. I'm not too fond of the Jets. I'm not too fond of the Dolphins. So you can give Buffalo a good run. Who knows? But Drake May, not sold yet.
Yeah, I feel like they were hoping he was going to be like the Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's what they were hoping he was going to be. But I'm with you. Yeah, I don't really see it. But I mean, he did play well last week. Let's see how he plays this week. The Patriots seem to be deploying a platoon of running backs this season with Antonio Gibson, Ramondre Stevenson, and Trayvon Henderson sharing the workload. Is there a back that you would like to see become the clear-cut back?
Henderson. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I think he got a bright future. I like him a lot.
They definitely got to get him they got to get him the ball more. You know, he only got like 20% of the snaps last week. They got to put the ball in his hands.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, I like Stevenson too. He showed me some true colors last year, and I feel like he got to step up this year. But I like our young rookies. I like Henderson a lot.
Yeah. So, Patriots former quarterback and current Fox NFL analyst Tom Brady could be seen in the Raiders coaching booth on Monday Night Football. Brady's a part owner of the team and has provided insight daily to Chip Kelly and the Raiders staff. So do you have an issue with Brady the broadcaster being allowed where Brady the part owner is allowed?
Yeah, I have no problem with that at all. I mean, to be honest, I like Brady being an analyst in the games, because I feel like he gives us nice teaching, especially from the quarterback position. I believe him and Romo right now, probably the best two I can always listen to watching the football game. They break it down. They give us a little extra nuggets that we didn't even think about. As a quarterback, beating the defense, I love how those two analyze games, man. So I don't have a problem with Brady at all being a broadcaster. And then with the whole part ownership, I mean, Chip Kelly. Two brains like that, an offensive mind. Raiders need all that. All the help they can get. They need all the help they can get. So I'm not even mad at that.
Yeah. No, I mean, especially with their starting the expectations ratcheted up. You know, you got Pete Carroll now. Like, you have...
Yeah, I'm saying Pete Carroll. That's a big pickup. I mean, Raiders are going to be a sleeper team. At AFC West, they're going to be a sleeper team. A lot of people kind of not counting them in there. Right away, they're giving it to the Chargers. But they might be a sleeper team. I trust Pete Carroll a lot. He's a great coach.
100%. So shifting over to basketball, Carmelo Anthony was recently inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Melo played for Syracuse. Yes, he did. Yes, he played for the Knicks for several years. So what did it mean to you that he got inducted?
Oh, that was big, man. I'm a big Melo fan, believe it or not. I mean, I'm a big Melo. The only time I watched the Knicks was when Melo was on the team. To be honest. I love Melo. Syracuse days. I know I had put up a post on Facebook about best college players you ever seen. Melo's up there. Me personally, I believe it was Chris Jackson. formerly known as Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. But
Yeah.
after him, I think Melo was probably one of the best college ball players to ever play. But him being inducted, I think that's a big accomplishment. I love his speech. I think his speech was so authentic. Love the fact that he touched on fatherhood, touched on his story, touched on Puerto Rico, which probably a lot of people didn't even know he was Puerto Rican, believe it or not. I didn't know that until late in his career. But I just feel like Melo's just a good dude, man. I met him a couple of times as a referee. I reffed his son. So, like, very proud of him, that moment for him. I mean, that was a big thing. Very big, very, very big. You know, he's never been known for winning an NBA championship, all the different teams. But he was a hell of a player, hell of an Olympian. We all know that. The Olympic resume is untouchable. And college player, man, can't be wrong with that. Melo's happy for Melo, big time.
So how is he on the sidelines as a parent? You know, you touched on it. You know, you see like Bronny James and like LeBron was there all the time. You see stuff like that. But like, how was he in the crowd? Like, how was he like? Was he one of those guys that's screaming at the ref? Was he like trying to light you up, or like what was he like?
Same person how he is, real mellow, laid back. He'll stay low key in the corner, and he'll have his hands folded, watch the game. He really doesn't say too much to Kanye. Probably give him that look. At the stage, like tell him like let's go, down. But I had Kanye maybe when he was probably in Gauchos. He was young, like he was really still developing. I haven't had Kanye since, like I said, I probably had him. Kanye was probably like about playing in, I want to say 6 and under, 8, 7 years old. Mm-hmm. So he was still developing, you know what I'm saying? So Melo really couldn't really, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like how he is intense now as a high school phenom. He was more still developing. But Melo was never that type of parent that's yelling at the refs, all in the refs' ear, being one of those fathers that you can hear in the crowd, being a distraction. He was really low key. Same thing with Kanye's mother, Lala. Lala's more animated than Melo, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Lala was more animated than Melo.
Huh. That's wild. Huh. All right, so we're about a month out from the start of the NBA season. It's going to tip, I think, like October. Yeah, but roughly about a month from now. So, since we're talking about Melo was on the Thunder at some point. So, who do you think could challenge the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference this season?
A lot of good teams, man. I'm always going to be biased. My Lakers definitely, right, especially with the new Luka body. But honestly, I think Houston is 1, Denver 2, and I'll give a strong 3 to be my Lakers, but I'm being biased, but I'll say Minnesota. I think Ant-Man got a lot to prove. I'm waiting for that Ant-Man to show up. Hopefully he's not all bark, all, like I'm saying, no talk. Like, I feel like he needs to step up his level again, so I'm going to put Minnesota there, but I know my Lakers are going to be in the mix some way, somehow. I mean, I think we're going to get better. I like the pickups we have. I love the fact that Luka came into camp shape. He looks incredible in the FIBA. I think him and LeBron in shape might be a little scary. Might be. It's going to be tough, though. Thunder is tough. Thunder's a tough out. But I want to say Houston for sure and Denver a close second. Denver got some good pieces, too, as well. So we'll see how it play out. I don't think the Thunder is going to repeat, though. I'll be honest. There's no back-to-back championship. That's out.
No, it's been a while. It's definitely been a while in the NBA, and that's really the hardest one to do. But
yeah,
the Thunder, well, they have youth on their side, but like it makes you wonder, you know, like did they got their one? How long is it going to take for them to kind of like shake that off? You know, are they going to be kind of complacent?
I get it. I'm saying?
So, yeah,
they got a nice little nucleus. I like Shea, I like Williams, I like Chet, but I'm not sold yet. I don't see a dynasty being with that team. No, it's gonna be tough. Unless Shea takes it another level. Like Kobe, Jordan level, and I don't see that yet. I don't see that in him. Don't
like
get
a
me
killer.
Wrong, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's an MVP. Great. He had a phenomenal season. Probably should have been back-to-back MVP from last year.
But he's not a killer, right?
Yeah. For him to be a back-to-back, he has to. Another match. My eyes.
That would be. I'm trying very hard to imagine what that next level is for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like he's a stud. Like that's that once. Like for him to actually take an even higher level, like that would be like they'd be unstoppable.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying. Like you got to be on that type of time. Feel like if you get to that level and then have everybody around him follow, almost like what Kobe did on the second, almost that when he went back to back. If he could be that Kobe 24, might be scary, but I don't know yet. I gotta see it.
So we'll get you out of here on this one, Leon. So, longtime AD and Spelman basketball coach Fred Opper retired last year. Shout out, Mr. Opper.
Yes,
so you played point guard on. You were his point guard on the 98-99 team, which is one of the best New York City high school teams ever assembled. So, what do you think about his retirement, and what did he mean to you as a coach?
Well, I'm happy for his retirement. I think he was long overdue. I mean, no offense, I just felt like I noticed that he didn't. I mean, in my eyes, I don't know. I could be wrong. I can't talk for him, but I didn't feel that passion or that love of coaching in him no more. I felt like he was just doing it just to do it, stay close. I mean, he has a big heart. Spelman is part of his life. Okay? So for him to walk away, it was tough. But when he made that decision, I was kind of happy for him. I felt like he had a couple of health issues that a lot of people didn't know about that I knew. I felt like he just needed that time off and rest. So he's been a great coach. I mean, unfortunately, he doesn't have that resume like other coaches do, but I felt he was a great influence in my life. I mean, to be honest, he was like my dad in high school. He always watch over me, make sure I wasn't in the wrong crowd. Not only a basketball coach, but a motivator, a teacher. Taught me how to play the game the right way. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, before Spelman, I was more of a street ball player. And he kind of molded me into like this, I could say like a general point guard. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I didn't really develop my offensive skills until I left Spelman. But like, I think when I got to college, what I learned from Opper, it kind of transitioned real easy for me as a college player because I was able to understand how to pass, screen away, pick and roll, set screens, back screens, go back door. Like, I don't think I would have had all that knowledge without Opper. You know what I'm saying? And then to this day, I still play, believe it or not. I just started playing in this 35 and over year old league.
Oh, yeah, we see you. We see you.
And, like, it's funny because I know I'm the best player in the league. And I probably average 30 or 40 in my sleep, but playing under Oppa is like I'm already like programmed like a robot. Like, I got to play the right way. I pick and choose my moments, but like I get guys involved. And I play with guys that's like 50, 60, like they can't even run up and around. But I make the game easy for them because I learned what I learned from Papa, being a facilitator, being a
pass and move. You know
what I'm saying? So it's like it's tough to be a selfish player after learning from the Op. You know what I'm saying? Because Op never gave us that opportunity. Just go out there and really play selfish basketball. It's always team oriented, and like that's good. It's always good. So I try to increase that with my boys. Like my boys are fun to play basketball a little bit. My oldest son played football, but starting to play a little basketball. And I'm trying to teach him, like, gotta know the little fundamentals and like all that I learned from Opera. So he's a big influence. Big influence.
Like, I mean, I did a little bit of coaching last year, and I attended way back when. Like, D and I actually both went to the Spelman basketball camp, and like the way he ran it, like, I don't know, Leon, were you ever like a guest instructor there, or you were like or did you ever help out at the camp? Because like,
oh yeah, absolutely. When I graduated, was the thing. I was working for the camp for a while. After I left, like while I was in college, I did the camp, summer camp for a minute. Probably like, I think my last year there was like 20. My son was born 2015, so I think like 2012 was my last time I could camp. But I was there a lot. And I helped out a lot. And you know how he ran the camp. We broke it down into stations. You know what I'm saying? I think the best part of camp, honestly, when the counselors would play after. They pick up games after. I was some good run. I ain't gonna lie. I was some good run. But other than that, though, the camp was a success. And I just felt like, as I seen the camp attendance drop, I felt like that was time for him to retire.
Yeah, I mean, it's changing, man. You know, like seeing how youth sports is changing and how skill development's changing versus you were saying team-oriented basketball. My goodness, like just the individual skill training and the mental aspect of it's just totally different. So, like for Opera to continue to instill that, like that's a super noble effort, and like if that's his legacy, then that's a great legacy to hang your hat on.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yep. So, personal trainer, boxing coach, youth sports referee, owner of Watch Me Work Fitness, Leon Martinez. Thank you for joining us. Where can our listeners find you? What do you have going on? And plug away, man.
All right, so as you can see, I just finished my last client event. So this is my location. If you guys want to take a look, I got my boxing ring here. I got my bags here.
Nice.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? So this is how my facility looks from afar. I got everything. If anybody's interested in boxing, kids, adults, females, males, you can always find me in Mount Vernon. I'm located at 156 Gramerton Avenue. It's called Extreme Fitness. I'm located on the 3rd floor. More or less, you can find me on my social media platforms, which is Facebook, of course, Leon Martinez, but you gotta probably find my picture and know who I am. But you can definitely find me on Instagram. My Instagram is WMW Fitness _LLC. Short for Watch Me Work Fitness, of course, but WMW Fitness _LLC. And you contact me through cell, email. You know what I'm saying? Just contact me. I mean, I'm trying to really, really push the training. I mean, I do referee as well, but I referee high school. I mean, I want to push to go to college level, but I've been really focusing on the training, as you can see. Picked up another hobby that I fell in love with, which is boxing. I wish I did it when I was younger. I just started, honestly, boxing in 2018. Started boxing, and it just kind of evolved with the whole situation. I mean, I went to Morris Park? Went to Morris Park boxing gym. I did like 3 months there because I got my certification in training in 2017. So I went to Morris Park 2018. I learned over a coach named Coach Camacho. I learned with him. I worked with him for about 3 months, and I took all that with me into personal training. So as I would train clients, the weight training, fundamental functional training, I incorporated boxing. some of my clients kind of enjoyed it because it was a different type of cardio. So from there on, I kind of fell in love with the sport. I started getting into it big time. I started sparring about after 20, and like I want to say after COVID. Started sparring like about 2021. Now I've just been taking off. I've been here and Street Fitness since 2022. I want to say the beginning of 2022. I haven't left. I mean, I kind of evolved. I got my own space, which is a real true blessing. And I'm just trying to take off with it. Trying to help the community, to be honest. And with me getting my certification as a boxing coach, I felt like I needed to do that just to have the credentials so people could really understand I do this. Like, I'm not just a guy out here trying to hustle you. I do this. I teach. And I also want to get involved with hopefully getting some amateur fighters. You know what I'm saying? Get some youth amateur fighters in New York City, come to my facility, work out with me, make it happen. I mean, who knows? I could probably find the next Mayweather out here. Who knows?
Yeah, man. You just got to keep plugging, keep putting that nose to the grindstone. It'll come. 100% will come. And you're giving back to the community, which is, just as important. So that's awesome. That is huge.
100%.
Yeah. And if you want to join us on the in-route, hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com, slide in our DMs on IG at Fade Route Podcast, or drop us a line on X at FadeRouteDNZ, and you could be next. Leon Martinez, thank you for joining us, brother, and we will definitely talk soon.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys, man. Good luck with everything. Good. Congrats on the success on the podcast. You've done nothing but the best. Blessings to you and your family. Yeah, I'd love to be on again whenever you're ready.
Your favorite podcast has its own merch line now. Go to the Fade Store with DNZ.com today and check out our releases in apparel, accessories, drinkware, and more. Ever wanted an Alleged Superstar t-shirt? We got those. You want some yoga pants? We got those too. And we're not done yet. We have a lot of exciting collaborations and new products on the way. But check out what we have now at the Fade Store with DNZ.com. That's the Fade Store with DNZ.com. Who's the best of the worst this week in sports? The Fade Store presents the Alleged Superstar of the Week Award.
All right, boys and girls, you know what time it is. It's time for the Alleged Superstar of the Week. You know how it goes. You put up a poll on our X account at FadeRouteDNZ and our Instagram poll at FadeRoutePodcast, and you vote. And you vote, you vote, you vote. And the winner said vote gets a shot in this year's show, takes home the coveted-ass trophy. And do you know who took home the coveted-ass trophy last week, D?
I don't.
Jalen Carter.
That guy?
Easy. You huck a loogie in a man's face. You're going to be on this. You're going to be on this list. But that was last week. This is this week. Who are your nominees for Alleged Superstar of the Week, D?
All right, so first up, I've got rookie running back Omarion Hampton from the Los Angeles Chargers. Played for the University of North Carolina. Drafted first round, 22nd overall. And after 2 games, you look like dog shit. You have 23 rushes for 72 yards. You're averaging 3 yards per attempt. That's a punt, son. Omarion Hampton, you are my Alleged Superstar of the Week. And my second one is Ashton Jeanty. Drafted also in the first round, number 6 overall. You have 80 rushing yards on 30 attempts. You're averaging 2.7 yards per carry. Again,
yikes.
You a punt, son. And you have only 1 touchdown on the season. Ashton Jeanty, you are my Alleged Superstar of the Week. And last but not least, I have the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. You have secured 10, I'm going to say it again, 10 straight seasons of a sub 500 record. Yikes. Allegedly with Mike Trout and with Anthony Rendon. 10 years ago, 2015, you probably, who was the other star they had? They had another star during that. Albert Pujols.
They had a guy named Albert Pujols. Yeah.
All these guys, 10 straight seasons.
Did you mention Shohei Ohtani?
And Shohei Ohtani.
Did you mention Josh Hamilton?
I was trying to remember if he was there then or not. I couldn't.
He was earlier, but like he was a contemporary with Trout. He was a contemporary with Trout.
Yeah.
Him, CJ Wilson, like that was the big free agent class with Albert Pujols. And dude, dog shit.
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, you are my alleged superstars of the week. What do you got, Z?
Dog shit. Complete.
Basura.
Dog shit. Dog shit. Oh, I'm going to start with Giants defensive coordinator Shane Bowen. Russ throws that touchdown to Wan'Dale Robinson, puts you up. Things are looking good. We might actually win this thing, you may be thinking to yourself. But then you play soft, you play scared, you let Dallas get into field goal range. Well, 64 yards is, that's a chip shot for Brandon Aubrey. For other kickers might struggle. But for Brandon Aubrey, I'd say he was good from about 80 yards. Kicks you into overtime. Absolutely inexcusable. You have a chance to put your foot on the throat of a division rival and take home the dub. You cannot play soft. You got to come at them. Come at me, bro. That's what you got to do. You have some guys on that field. You have Thibodeau. You have Burns. You have Dex. You have guys who can get where they need to go. Pin their ears back and go. You just drafted a guy in Abdul Carter. Pin his ears back and go. It was not the case. You played soft. You played scared. You lost. Shane Bowen, you are my alleged superstar of the week. Number 2. I gotta go. And I hate to say this because I love Coach Westhoff. Broncos special teams.
Ooh.
Coach, I love you, but I gotta say that leverage penalty, that was a killer. That was an absolute killer. And I'm sure you'd agree with me that it was a killer. Absolute worst fucking time for it. You had this thing in the bag. He shanked the kick. It's over, Johnny. It's over. Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast. Move him up. Give him a second life. It's good. Broncos lose. Broncos special teams, you are my alleged superstar of the week. And number 3, Ken Rosenthal. The fuck? So, we have a walk-off situation. He's about to interview somebody. They're coming in with the Gatorade, and you know how it goes. You got to get the hell out of Dodge. Right? You have a wired microphone pack on you. You're basically wired for electricity. You got to get out of there before you get wet. So, Ken Rosenthal does so. Bowls over a camera guy. Stands over him. Stares him down like it's Muhammad Ali staring over Sonny Liston. Gives him a dirty look as if to say, what the fuck? Why were you there? And then doesn't help him up. He goes right back in and keeps going like a pro. And then issues some limp dick half-assed apology the next day. Ken Rosenthal. What more can I say? Just be better. Just do better. Ken Rosenthal, you are my alleged superstar of the week. I think we said our piece. Go to our X account at FadeRouteDNZ. Go to our Instagram poll at FadeRoutePodcast and vote. And vote, and vote, and vote. And for our nominees.
You're better than that. Just do better. Just do better.
This has been the Fade Route with DNZ. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Catch our podcast on Wednesday nights on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your podcast. So until next time, stay fade, everyone.
Time for us to run the go route. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you liked what you heard and you want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a review, rate us 5 stars, turn on subscription notifications, and share on social media. Tell your friends and spread the word.